All right, guys, we're going to skip my normal introduction here. I have tried to film this video so many times and I just have not been able to find a way to make it work. So we're going to be kind of breaking free of my regular formula. I do apologize. I know some of you guys love my ranking system, but I'm just going to be talking about the Kobe 8s really in depth, the Kobe 8 protros as well. And we're going to kind of go into my experience with the shoe, what I think of the protro overall, and just kind of the shortcomings, because I really feel like Nike let me down here. And I actually am going to be returning these. And that is like the biggest letdown of the year. I really love these. So please stick around. I'm going to talk about everything and let's just get right into it. All right. So if you guys didn't know, my first shoe ever was the Kobe 7. I got these shoes when I was about 11 years old. I had just moved to Hong Kong. And I had actually never played basketball before. I just found that when I was 11, moving to Hong Kong was just really hard for me. My family knew that I just was not in the best mental space. You know, at that age, just moving so far overseas was really tough. And so I started playing basketball every day, indoors, outdoors. I would stay after school and play on the high school court until I was kicked out. I just played all the time. And my dad saw how much I was playing basketball, so he bought me the most expensive shoes in the store, which was the 7s. And I actually played in those so much that they ripped, which leads me into the Kobe 8s, which were my second shoe ever. I actually have footage from back when I was in middle school and I played in these. These quickly became the best shoe ever for me. The court feel, that heel to toe transition, the cushioning setup, they were just so addicting to play in. They were bouncy, responsive. Impact protection was great too. Overall, the Kobe 8s just were my favorite shoe ever. And that's kind of why I started this channel. I was always chasing the Kobe 8. As a kid, I had no idea that they would just stop production of these shoes and that I would never be able to get them again. So the Kobe 8 has a really strong place in my heart. If you watch my videos, you can clearly see I always am referencing the Kobe 8s. It's been a decade since I played in them, but I still reference them a lot. So let's just get into the shortcomings of the Kobe 8 Protro right now. So the biggest letdown of this shoe is definitely going to be the fit. I have talked to many other reviewers and I have delayed this video a lot. I've gotten everyone's feedback on this and we all agree that the shoes are made of a little bit more constrictive or rigid material. The housing bed of the shoe is stiffer, the heel cup is stiffer, and the React foam is also stiffer. And the tongue, being not this thin paper-like material that it was before, has kind of made the shoe have less volume. So if you have higher volume feet, if you have wide feet like myself, the shoe is very tight. And the first thing I felt when I put these on was when I tried on the Zion 3s. There is no Zion 3 review on my channel simply because the shoe is so narrow that when I went up a full size to a 12, I still could not fit my foot into it. The only reason why I can fit my feet into these is because the material is more mesh. The Zions were made of this kind of like strong plastic cup material. So these are extremely narrow. They are a lot more narrow than I remember them. And a lot of reviewers have told me that they feel more narrow than their original pairs. I unfortunately do not have an original pair with me, but just from memory alone, I can tell you that these are very, very narrow. They also run slightly long, which my feet run short. So the fit on these as a size 11, they're just too long, too narrow. I can't go down half a size. I can't go up half a size. So the fit is going to be a 2 out of 10. I have only ever thought of giving a 1 out of 10, and that was to the Zions because I couldn't fit my foot in these. I technically can get my foot into these, but the fit is literally going to be a 1 out of 10 because even for narrow footers, the shoe is too narrow. All right, so moving into the next major downgrade of the Kobe 8 Protro, it's definitely going to be the cushioning. Now, I know the React foam by a lot of reviewers has been touted as being objectively better, but I strongly disagree. It changes the feel of the shoe entirely. The shoe no longer feels like this bouncy, low to the ground, super plush shoe. The React foam is significantly larger than Lunarlon. It's significantly more dense. And what that does is it takes away that bounciness, that low to the ground feel that I loved about the Kobe 8s. And it also makes the shoe a lot more clunky. I found that I was not able to play as long in these as I would have liked to because the heel to toe transition and the ability to rock in the shoe is just absent now. So this does not really feel like that traditional Kobe 8. And unfortunately, like if you really remember the cushioning like how I did, it's just not there. It's not the same thing. I know the React is more durable, but I believe back when I lived in Hong Kong and I have talked to a US reviewer who lived in the US during the time of the Kobe 8s, you could buy Lunarlon insoles. And when you have a lot of competition like Way of Wade and especially Serious Player One lets you purchase their drop-in midsoles and they're all different. They have the power one, they have the low to the ground one, they have, I believe they have 4 now. It just kind of makes you wonder, like, why would you get a Kobe 8 for $180 when you can get a Serious Player only shoe and buy insoles. Like the React sole, it's like, I wish I could have at least bought the Lunar Lawn online. Like, let me buy the original part for the shoe. So I'm really frustrating with the cushioning. I'm going to give the cushioning an 8 out of 10. It's still a drop in midsole, which I like, and it still is good. It's just not the same at all. It changes the shoe drastically. So enough of my rambling. Let's just move on to the next. All right, so let's get into the actual review of the Kobe 8 Protros as their own thing. We're going to start with my most favorite part of the shoe, and it's definitely going to be the lockdown of the shoe. You get this really good lacing system that still holds up today, as well as the carbon fiber shank plate, which really helps this shoe prevent from over flexing. I felt very secure in these. I had no heel slippage, and even though they're extremely narrow, there is a lot of stability in these shoes. That may come from the fact that you are still very low to the ground. Overall, I think that the lockdown and the stability of the shoe is definitely its strongest feature still, despite these kind of catastrophic changes that I mentioned. And I'm going to give the lockdown a 9 out of 10. All right, so moving into my next favorite part of the shoe, it's definitely going to be the materials used. Now, to be fair, the Kobe 8s, the originals, were never durable at all. I have went through many pairs. I have seen people blow through their Protros. But I will say that the slight change to the tongue, making it thicker, as well as making the heel cup a little bit stiffer and having the shoe be made of a little bit stiffer materials does aid in the durability. However, this is all kind of redundant from the sacrifices I mentioned before. And I will say that the bottom, the traction pattern, it feels to be made out of the same exact materials before, which is the least durable part of the shoe. So if your uppers, if your foot's containment, if all the parts of the shoe are durable, except for the bottom, which is the traction, which is extremely important when you're playing basketball, it does feel a little bit redundant. I'm going to give the durability a 7 out of 10. Just letting you guys know, I would have given the original Kobe 8s a 4 out of 10 in durability. These just are ever so slightly more durable. But again, that price, $180, you're going to blow through these. I would basically say for this shoe, only wear it indoors, and you should only be wearing it as a performance shoe. So yeah, that's kind of where we're at. All right, so now we're going to move into my least favorite parts of the shoe, just grading this specifically on the Kobe 8 Protro, and that's definitely going to be the heel to toe transition. I really do not like the heel to toe transition in these. I mentioned before that rocking and swaying back and forth in these is not as good as it used to be. I think it's a combination of the React foam as well as the weight distribution of the shoe. The shoe is very heel heavy. The front of the shoe is really lightweight, but the back of the shoe is where all the weight is. And although the shoe is still fairly lightweight, you just lose a lot of smoothness in that. So you're just kind of going clunk, 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 clunk. And I could really hear, like, it sounds painful when I play. Like, you can really hear me stomping. So yeah, that's kind of how it is. I'm going to give the heel to toe transition a 4 out of 10. It was just abnormally clunky. All right, guys, I'm actually going to wrap it up there. I'm going to give you a little bit of a breakdown. Essentially, the Kobe 8 Protros, these are not the same shoes as the Kobe 8 originals. Do not let other shoe reviewers tell you that, oh, it's just the weight difference, it's a little bit heavier. No, these shoes, they fit a lot more narrow. The cushioning system completely changes how the shoe feels entirely. I would say that if you love the Kobe 8 Protro and you have extremely skinny feet, you can try these. Even if you have wide feet, you can try the Kobe 8 Protros because Nike has a really, really good return policy. I believe you get up to 60 days even after wearing the shoe. But what I can say, just for an example here, is that the Serious Player Only or the Serious Player 1 Plus, this has a better lacing system. It's more wide footer friendly. It's significantly more durable. Additionally, you can buy other drop-in midsoles, and it sometimes goes on sale for $160. It's also $180 regularly, so it's the same price. Overall, I just think that this is a better shoe. In addition, if you want something closer to that Kobe like 6, maybe Kobe 5 in some ways, the Wade 808 Ultra is $20 cheaper, and this is an extremely durable shoe. The traction's great. The lockdown's great. If you're a wide footer, the shoe does still run a tiny bit long, but it's a lot better for a wide footer like myself. Like, there's just better options now. And unfortunately, we don't have the same shoe anymore. So the Kobe 8 Protro, it's not the Kobe 8. And it really breaks my heart to say that. Overall, I'm going to give the Kobe 8 Protro like a 60 out of 100. And again, the original Kobe 8s, I would have given 100. Maybe the nostalgia got me wrong. Maybe these other shoes are just way better and I'm completely out of touch now. But I just think that Nike did not execute the Kobe 8s in the way that they should have. And I'm glad to see these are fully widely available, but that's all I can say, guys. I'm sorry if you disagree with me. Please don't downvote the video, even though I'm expecting quite a bit of downvotes on this. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Watch this video all the way through. I'm very close to monetizing my channel, and I would appreciate greatly if I could hit that benchmark with you guys. So thank you so much for trusting me with your basketball shoe reviews. I'm sorry that this review was a little bit different, but this is one of the most special shoes on the channel, so it had to be a little bit different. See you guys in the next video.